Alex Eala silenced everyone after Aryna Sabalenka criticized Nadal. No one anticipated this turn of events. When everyone believed that Sabalenka's homage to Nadal would solidify her legacy, a fresh storm broke out, and a Filipino adolescent provided the perfect response. They believed the story to be about a champion paying tribute to a legend, but Alex Eala's ascent made it much more. Outrage replaced the whispers. The tennis world held its breath as fans engaged in ceaseless online debate. Could a single young player truly define rivalry, respect, and the game's future? On the court, Aryna Sabalenka was always a force to be reckoned with. Strong serves, relentless baseline dominance, and a demeanor that alternated between surprise charm and burning fury. She was feared as much as admired. She was more than just a top player by the time the 2025 season began. She was a living example of unadulterated skill and focused concentration, a representation of contemporary tennis. She was dubbed the Titaness by her admirers after years of competing against the best in the sport. However, there was a side of Sabalenka that few people really knew beyond the accolades and headlines. The players whose careers she had grown up watching, imitating, and hoping to surpass were the legends who paved the road, and she had a great deal of respect for them. Specifically, Rafael Nadal was more than a hero. He served as a symbol of tenacity and the idea that no challenge was insurmountable. She astonished the world once more following one of her most spectacular wins at the US Open, this time with a gesture that said volumes rather than a strong forehand. She even made arrangements for a duplicate of her winning attire to be on display in Nadal's museum after officially dedicating her trophy to him. In the middle of the flurry of media around her victory, it was a silent act of homage. The tennis community appeared prepared to celebrate both the emerging star and the icon she honored as fans applauded and pundits commended her humility. However, controversy started to brew at this extremely respectful time. Debates erupted on social media. What made her pick Nadal? Is it possible to read this as a criticism of other champions? Even insignificant comments that were taken out of context were amplified into rumors of scandal. People started making assumptions about silent tensions, imagined slights, and hidden rivalries. The distinction between disagreement and tribute became hazy. Then came Alex Eala, a teenager from Quezon City, Philippines, who had been subtly becoming more well-known in the tennis world. She was well known for her poise and incredible shot accuracy, and she had recently caused a stir with a run of surprising victories over elite players. Her name started to appear alongside luminaries, and it was impossible to overlook her skill. Nobody could have predicted how her rise would clash with Sabalenka's narrative, a confrontation that would quickly change public perception. For many, the drama was more about how Eala's quiet genius defied presumptions than it was about what Sabalenka did or said. This young athlete had the poise of an experienced player, the guts to enter the global arena, and the capacity to change the course of events in real time. The monument to Sabalenka, which was intended to pay tribute to the past, suddenly served as the setting for an unexpected future. Anticipation created tension rather than scandal. Who would next be the center of attention for the entire world? The bold upstart prepared to leave her own mark, or the well-established titan paying tribute to a legend? Debates broke out in living rooms, sports bars, and social media feeds as fans browsed forums. This story's first chapter covered more ground than just wins and losses. It was about the abrupt change in power in the tennis world, as well as respect and acknowledgement. And one thing became evident in this developing story. Even the loudest applause can occasionally be silenced by a single moment from the next generation, despite the inspiring power of legends. After Sabalenka's tribute, the tennis world was still gasping for air when Alex Eala made an unmissable entry. She was a revelation rather than just another bright junior. She faced players who had won Grand Slam championships, opponents who had long ruled the courts, and spectators who anticipated her failure in her first big WTA 1000 participation. Eala, however, had other ideas. The accuracy of a person much beyond her years was evident in every serve, return, and flawlessly executed drop shot. Whispers began in both press rooms and locker rooms. How could a young Filipino girl, just out of her teens, destroy opponents that seasoned pros had battled for years? Feeds on social media glowed. Every point, every aspect, and every ruling made on the court was examined by analysts. Her bold style was praised by some. Some wondered if it was just luck. But as the competition went on, chance was no longer a plausible excuse. She was controlling matches rather than just winning them. Then came the pivotal event that ignited the initial dispute. A minor remark made by Sabalenka during a press conference following an especially convincing victory was picked up by both fans and commentators. "Some players have raw talent, but the game isn't just about talent," she stated in a measured yet critical tone. Social media took off. Was this a subtle swipe at Eala? Were the legends discounting her appearance before it had a chance to develop completely? The story abruptly changed. This was no longer merely a tale of admiration for Nadal. It had developed into a quiet conflict between generations. But Eala was unfazed. She did not participate in internet discussions or reply to rumors. Rather, she let her performance do the talking. Every game was a declaration, every triumph a refutation of the rumors circulating around her. Fans started to note the sharp contrast as the budding star let her talent speak louder than any criticism, while the established celebrity offered measured remarks and careful admiration. A humble Filipino prodigy became the focus of the tennis world's attention in just one tournament after a slight remark kindled a fire that transformed admiration into conjecture. The audience was unable to ignore the conflict between reverence for legends and the indisputable power of fresh talent. The tennis community was compelled to respond as Alex Eala's incredible achievements persisted. Emotion and conjecture dominated every post, tweet, and headline. Supporters were divided. While some applauded the emergence of a new star with amazing talent, others denounced Sabalenka, saying her subtle comments had overshadowed Eala's accomplishments. The court of public opinion, where opinions circulate more quickly than any serve, was now the site of conflict instead of the court. Social media turned into a battlefield. Within minutes, memes that highlighted every comparison between the youthful prodigy and the seasoned champion went viral. There were heated arguments in the comment areas. One admirer said, "Eala is the future," while another countered, "Sabalenka is just protecting the legends." The drama wasn't limited to the internet. Sports channel pundits examined every aspect of the competition, guessing as to whether Sabalenka's remarks were a warning, a critique, or just misunderstood. Every aspect of the narrative was scrutinized, re-examined, and magnified. Eala's triumph in the semi-finals caused the debate to escalate. It seemed nearly inconceivable for someone her age to defeat two past Grand Slam champions in one day. However, the story continued. Was she a prodigy taking advantage of her circumstances, or did she really deserve the limelight? Whether on purpose or not, Sabalenka's casual remark had sparked discussions on several continents. Neither Sabalenka nor Eala had anticipated the commotion that resulted from fans tagging both players and demanding responses. Eala's composure turned into her silent protest in spite of the commotion. She declined to participate in the conversation. The interviews were brief, courteous, and solely concerned her passion for the game. Every time she on the court, her talent silenced detractors more quickly than any criticism could. "She doesn't argue, she doesn't explain, she just wins," said one commentator. And that speaks louder than any disagreement. Sabalenka's social media accounts, however, came under intense investigation. Every move, every tweet, even the act of congratulating Eala, was scrutinized. Fans quarreled incessantly about implication, tone, and intended. The drama enthralled everyone, and the tension was heightened by the sharp contrast between youth and experience, legacy and ambition. But the truth was more nuanced than either praise or criticism. It was a tale of generational clash and how reverence for the past and wonder for the future can coexist. Knowing that what happened here might define reputations for years, the tennis community kept a close eye on the action. And throughout it all, Alex Eala's poise and unquestionable skill emerged as the unspoken defense that no dispute could eclipse. In that instant, the world came to a realization. Headlines get attention and controversy sells, but talent that is unadulterated, courageous, and unquestionable speaks louder than any rumor. Not only was Alex Eala surviving this impending storm, but she was also controlling it, making both supporters and detractors reconsider their preconceived notions about tennis, respect, and legacy. The fallout from Alex Eala's quick ascent was electrifying. Fan arguments erupted, headlines screamed, and social media turned into a tornado of compliments, condemnation, and everything in between. Sabalenka's nuanced remarks were constantly analyzed. Some accused her of jealousy, while others defended her as a champion who was merely sharing her viewpoint. The story had changed. It was now more than just tennis prowess. It was a tale of rivalry, respect, and acknowledgement. Meanwhile, Eala was caught in the middle of the tornado. Fans from all around the world sent her messages complimenting her bravery, accuracy, and poise under duress. However, there was just as much criticism. Some questioned if she could continue at this level, whether her successes were coincidental, or whether the pressure of instant celebrity would cause her to lose focus. Nevertheless, Eala maintained her composure during each game, allowing her performance to react to criticism more forcefully than words could. Tennis experts examined the subtle conflict between the two celebrities. Some said that Sabalenka's alleged criticism of Eala or Nadal was part of the propaganda. Others contended that her remarks had been overstated by the public. In any case, the fallout produced a singular time in the sport where a young, up-and-coming star had the existing hierarchy reconsider what it meant to rule, inspire, and command attention. The debate increased engagement to an unprecedented level, and fans couldn't stop talking. But in the midst of the confusion, one thing emerged. Talent and poise continued to be the best response in a world fixated on opinions, headlines, and conjecture. Not only had Alex Eala come, but she had forced herself into the discussion, demonstrating that excellence speaks for itself even in the face of examination. The true story was much easier than the drama implied behind the headlines, tweets, and conjecture. The ascent of Alex Eala was not the result of chance, debate, or serendipity. It was the result of years of commitment, innumerable court hours, and an unwavering self-belief. Every triumph and every accurate shot demonstrated that even the most seasoned players could be challenged by skill and discipline. For her part, Sabalenka had no intention of being disrespectful. Her calm and nuanced remarks revealed her viewpoint as an experienced champion navigating a sensationalist culture. She had dedicated her professional life to appreciating the accomplishments of legends, respecting them, and bearing the burden of expectations. Fans and the media played a major role in amplifying the story of smashes or jabs, which serves as a reminder of how easily perception can eclipse fact. Respect helped both sportsmen find common ground in the quiet moments following the storm. The emerging star Eala talked about how much she respected Sabalenka's accomplishments and how motivating it was to play against individuals who had influenced contemporary women's tennis. Eala's skill and poise were appreciated by Sabalenka, who also acknowledged that her victories were earned rather than granted. It became evident what was true. Respect remains despite controversy. Talk may be sparked by rivalry, but legacy is defined by skill and character. In addition to proving herself on the court, Alex Eala served as a reminder to the world that admiration and ambition could coexist and that rising stars might succeed without undermining the accomplishments of their predecessors. It was a lesson for both players and fans about the fine line between reality and perception. Sometimes the loudest voices are those who let their performance speak for itself rather than those who yell. And in this instant, Alex Eala had accomplished just that, winning the world's respect and admiration. After the dust settled, the controversy surrounding Sabalenka and Eala turned into a pivotal event in tennis history. It was now about the changing dynamics of the sport itself, not just a subtle comment or the quick ascent of a new player. Fans started to realize that tennis is a game of respect, perseverance, and timing in addition to skill. The world was reminded by Alex Eala's journey that genius is limitless. Her successes were significant not only for herself but also for her nation, her generation, and all future athletes hoping to compete internationally. Once misconstrued as criticism, Sabalenka's calm remarks eventually came to represent the voice of experience and serve as a reminder that the sport flourishes when the past, present, and future come together in conversation. The lessons persisted even after the drama, arguments, and social media fever subsided. Conflict is not necessarily the result of rivalry. Competition and admiration can coexist. Legacy is not erased by new brilliance. By advancing the game, it pays tribute to it. Tennis saw a story more complex than any headline could convey at the nexus of these two remarkable careers, one that was full of tension, passion, and motivation. In the end, the narrative poses a query that persists long after the cheers. Is it possible for the younger generation to advance without undermining the older ones? Or do these kinds of events permanently change who we honor? Alex Eala gave a straightforward response. No matter the size of the platform, skill, poise, and commitment can silence doubt and enthrall the globe. Alex Eala's ascent was a declaration to the world rather than just a string of victories. Talent, bravery, and poise are more powerful than controversy. Click subscribe if her story and the drama that transpired inspire you. Stay tuned for more tales that encapsulate the passion, emotion, and memorable moments in women's tennis.